Okay. So, hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Today, we're going to be diving into Reaktor. If you don't know what Reaktor is a sound design platform used to design synthesis, sound design tools, modular racks, and any sounds you'd like to make. So, when you open up Reaktor, you're going to be greeted with a screen that looks something like this. And there's three different sections in Reaktor. One is the play section, one is the patch section, and one is the build section. The play section is where you can play instruments that are pre-built inside of Reaktor. The patch section is where you can patch together instruments or effects into racks using cables or digital cables. And lastly, we have a building section. The build section is where you can build synths, samplers, and effects. And today, we're going to be diving into the build section. So I'm going to jump into the build section, and we're going to go into the player section. If also another hint is you can use the info button here to toggle on and off the info hints. So whenever you bring in a block, it's going to show you the information as to how to hook it up and what corresponds with that block. So for example, if I brought in an oscillator, you can see when I hover over it, it brings information up and it tells you exactly what that block is and what it does. If you take off the info hints, you'll have no info hints, but you can toggle them back on simply using Option I or just toggling the button. So I'm going to use Option I to bring it back and show info hints. And there we go. When you hover, you can see what the buttons do. And that's really helpful when you're trying to decide what to connect to what. So I'm going to bring in the basic components that we're going to need here. I'm going to bring in a clock so we can have timing information. I'm going to bring in also an 8-step sequencer, and so that we can have steps. And I brought in an oscillator already. The next things I'm probably going to be bringing in are let's see. So I'll bring in, I brought in an 8-step sequencer, oscillator. Then we can change our oscillator to a sawtooth wave, just because that's what we're feeling like doing today. So sawtooth looks something like that. And then I'm going to actually add in a note in so that we can hear our sounds. So a note in grabs information from our keyboard and we can hear our sounds. So I'm actually going to connect our clock and our pitch. And then I'm actually going to connect my oscillator to the 8-step sequencer. And we're going to do internal clock. And we're going to send the signal out. And you can hear that we're using the 8-step sequencer to modify our sound. So from here, we can change our wave shape. And I want to change this wave shape over time. So I'm going to actually use an LFO to do that. So I'm going to go into our bento box collection, grab an LFO, and I'm going to modulate this synth. go ahead and double this up. I'm going to reorganize our panel. And I'm going to adjust our volume back up to where it was. Just getting a more interesting sound with 2 oscillators going. Gonna pitch shift it a little bit. Makes it a little thicker of the sound. And then I'm going to add some effects. Add some reverb. And there we go. So, in just a few minutes, we've created something using a subsequencer, clock, an LFO, bunch of oscillators, bento box, mix, and a little bit of reverb, and we've got a versatile sound, some kind of cinematic pulse generation. So that can be used in anything you want it to be used in, and this is perfect for maybe trailer music, maybe a soundscape, maybe rhythmic textures, and yeah, so there you have it, a subsequenced texture. So if you like this, be sure to hit the like and follow button for more quick sound design breakdowns, and drop a comment if you want to see a full tutorial, and see you in the next one. Peace out.